Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back into Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. Thanks to everybody for subscribing, liking and following me. That's great. We've got 202 subscribers at the moment, which on the scale of some of the influencers and things, that's a tiny number. But actually, for me, this is a new venture. I'm new to YouTube, and there's 200 people that have taken the time to want to watch my content and subscribe and watch that regularly. So that means a lot to me, guys. 200 people, that's 200 individuals all investing their time in watching my content, and I thank each and every one of you. It really means a lot to me. As you can see, the videos are starting to starting to pile up nicely there. So this channel has been going for just over a month now, so started on the 20th of March. So thanks everybody. Just going on to the NFTs that we've got at the moment. Once the first 10 are sold, actually at the prices that they are at the moment, so it's 0.1 ETH at the moment, which is about $295 at today's prices. Once those first 10 are sold, the prices will be going up from there, guys. So just if you're interested in picking up those the NFTs at the low prices, please make sure that you do that as quickly as you can. Just jumping straight into the content here. So this is obviously Bitcoin. We've been watching this broadening wedge for a number of days now, and obviously we've got this continued choppy price action again. Not surprised to see we've got this sort of bottoming pattern here, and the measured move of that actually takes us back up to about 40,500. At which point I think we'll be looking for a rejection there. This is be the type of trade I'll be looking for. We'll probably get a stab just above this dotted line here is a daily resistance level. I wouldn't be surprised if we just poke our heads just above there to get everybody's hopes up, and then find that we actually the prices we come back down to the bottom of the range again, unfortunately. But that's what I'll be looking at. So if we look at I think actually looking at the measuring tool there, I'll probably be looking for an entry at about 40,000. We'll call it 40,200. Stop loss just above the highs there, and then a risk reward ratio 2-to-1. So we'll take that down, and as you can see, that's just above this support here. So that fits in quite nicely. So that will be the next trade that I'll be looking for, guys, if you're interested. So looking at the Wyckoff, this is becoming more and more relevant, this chart. Actually, I think as time goes on, we can see what I find very interesting is just how similar this price action is here. Bear with me for 1 minute. So yeah, the price action here is so similar to the price action here. You can see it's forming very similar indeed. You've got the high here, the wick high here, which is this high here, and now you've got these sort of bouncing scenario as we come down and trend lower, and obviously you've got the wick high here, and then you've got this bouncing scenario as we bounce down lower. And I think we're going to end up with something like this here. Let's just draw that on for you, see if we can see if that gives us any kind of. So from the wick high there, let's see what that looks like. Just pull that across. You've got the wick high there. So yeah, you can see that very similar, and it actually takes us down to this support level here, which is at 34,300. On the VPVR, incidentally, at 35,000, there is a lot of buying interest. So this capitulation candle, if it does happen, may not come back down as low as the lows down here at the 29,500 mark. The capitulation will probably, I do think it's going to come back below, particularly this first low here, which is at 34,300. But the lower low there is this low here. The measure there is 32,000, so just under 33,000. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see this, when it happens, us to come down maybe to the 33 and then get the solid bounce, because obviously there'll be an accelerated move to the downside here, and then once we get into the range of 35,000 buying interest, then that will be possibly what gives us the spring effect, as per this at the top there. I've explained over the last couple of days what Wyckoff is and what it's designed to do, and I just found rather, sort of a topical piece that somebody wrote in their Telegram group. So this trader, incidentally, I'll share it with you. I'll show it to you. This trader, incidentally, has got 80,000 followers in his Telegram group. Coupled with obviously, a YouTube channel and Twitter and everything else. And I won't name him particularly, but I thought that this was, this is a beautiful description of just demonstrating how what Wyckoff is designed to do, in terms of, as I've said before, frustrating everybody and shaking people out the market, so that everybody's kind of sold their positions and exited the market down here, only to find that a couple of months later they're regretting that, because obviously the price turns around quite quickly. There's no guarantees of that, of course. Price could come down and keep coming down, but I just can't see that happening myself. The on-chain metrics and things are all pointing towards the fact that we are either at the lows or very close to the lows here. So just bear that in mind when you're wondering and you're worrying about the prices being down here. Just ask yourself, guys, are we closer to the bottom or the top? But we'll come to that in a couple of minutes. I'll show you something else to demonstrate that as well. But going back to this trader, bear in mind, this guy is very successful, very established, a trader that's been around for a long time. And as you can see here, he's put, screw it. I'm tired of analysing the flat market. It doesn't make any sense. For the whole month, we made analysis just for you. And we thought it could be helpful. But to be honest, it is better you divide your deposit 50-50 USDT to Bitcoin and close the exchange. As you can see, the market is flat. When it is so, no TA really works, and there is no point trading this market. Sometimes you just need to stay away from trading. And I just shouldn't really laugh, but it just, that is exactly what the Wyckoff is designed to do, is to make even professional traders like that feel like he's feeling. All that I'll say, guys, I can't give advice, but I wouldn't be exiting and losing my positions here. If you've waited all this far, this isn't the time to be thinking, oh, sod it, I'm just going to exit now, because if you've been patient all the way down, and what I would be doing is I'd be holding. And just to put that into perspective on something else here, if I show you, this is from the website Look Into Bitcoin. It's very good because lots of different charts and things, and it is really interesting. So guys, have a look at that. It's definitely worth a look. But if you have a look at the logarithmic curves all the way back to, in fact, the beginning of Bitcoin's time, you'll see that the lower logarithmic curve there, that at no point other than this point here has it ever been below the lower logarithmic growth curve. I'm sure that all of you can guess what that is there, what that happened there, and why that is the only time in Bitcoin's history that we dropped below that lower the lower logarithmic curve. So if I just hover above that just for a second for you, and you can see the date, March 2020, and we all know what happened in March 2020, so I don't have to tell you that. But the reason I'm looking at this, guys, is just ask yourself, when you're looking at this chart and you're looking at where the Bitcoin price is, this blue dot, the blue line, are we closer to the bottom or are we closer to the top? And from a risk perspective, would you be saying this is time to be selling, or would you say that this is time to be buying? As much as scary as it is when the Bitcoin price just seems to be bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and has been since November last year, so 5 months. Some of you would be losing confidence, and some of you would be thinking, actually, when's this ever going to stop? But just ask yourself, are we closest to the bottom, or are we closer to the top? Another way of looking at that is, if we think now we're at the price is, where are we? Just around about the 40,000. So yeah, around about the 40,000 mark. If Bitcoin goes below 20,000, it'll be the first time in Bitcoin's history that it's ever gone lower than the previous all-time high in any cycle. So again, if you ask yourself, if we're at 40,000, and there's a chance of at the most a 50% correction from here, which is possible. Don't get me wrong; it's possible we get down to the low 20s. But the downside is, say, 50%, and what's the upside? the upside, especially with what's going on in the world at the moment. We don't know what's going to happen. We've got, more countries are starting to accept Bitcoin now. We've got the African Republic, which is now legalized Bitcoin as a currency. So, bear that in mind, guys, when you're thinking about it. And if I just hover over this now, look, it does tell you the lower curve there is actually around about the 32,000 mark. Okay, so if you look back through time, as I say, we haven't been below that in any time apart from the Black Swan event. And so therefore, could we say that 32k could be the very bottom? If we get down that far and we bounce from there, and then, a couple of months time, you're looking back in the summer and all the altcoins are all taken off and Bitcoin's back at 55, 56, 58, 60,000, you're probably not going to be very pleased with yourself. Wyckoff is working very, very well, and it's caught me out. It's caught me out in this choppy price action. I'm not immune to my emotions, and it did catch me out, particularly here. I told you guys before, that little blue dark line there. Once we'd popped up and failed, and then obviously lost the lows of this range, I entered a short position here and got stopped out very quickly after that. And guys, it's, no one's 100% accurate on their trading. No one can foresee this type of of manipulation. That's the trouble. That's the danger. That's the why trading is high risk. So just going on to Ethereum. One interesting thing with Ethereum is we bounced off this support a couple of times and we've got back above this lower support line here. As you know, Ethereum has been a bit of a market leader, and it could be possibly that the lows are already in. It could be that the lows that we've seen on Bitcoin down here, we got down to 37.7. We are getting very close to that bounce territory, but I think we're going to have one more stab down. Myself personally, I do think that this is what I think is going to happen, guys. If we look at this chart, we just move this out of the way for a moment. I think we're going to come back up to around about the 40,200 to the 40,500 mark. And then we're going to get the rollover, and then on the way back down, there's going to be a sudden sell-off. Okay, so let me just zoom in and show you what I mean by that. Yeah, so I think what we're going to see is the price is going to come back up, and it's going to retest this support line here, which is somewhere between 40,300 and 40,500, and then we're going to get the rollover, and we'll start to break these lows, and then there'll be a sudden sell-off. And then we'll come into this range of this buying range of 35,000, which incidentally is here, and I think we're going to get the bounce possibly from there. I don't think we're going to get to the lows myself. That down the bottom there, I think that we'll turn around and take off. Everybody's looking for 25,000 and below, I'm not really sure that we're even going to get below 30,000 myself. There's obviously some big players which we all know, Michael Saylor and things like that, which have all got an average price of around the 30,000 mark. So I can see that everybody will be looking for this really deep correction, and it will turn around and take off and leave everybody still waiting, which is another characteristic that Bitcoin tends to be particularly good at. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, guys. Up to 40,300 to 40,500. Then the rollover will come back down, maybe to the mid 30s, shall we say, possibly a little bit below 35,000, and then we'll get the spring in action, and then we'll be off into the summer. No guarantees, guys. We could just accelerate down and just keep going and end up in the mid to low 20s, but I just don't think that's going to happen personally. But we'll see. Obviously, protect yourself with stop losses and things, and don't take what I'm saying as gospel. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and and I've been wrong in the past, and I'll be wrong again in the future, no doubt about that. So make your own decisions and make sure you protect yourselves accordingly. If we just look at Ethereum again, as I say, it does interesting to see that we are bouncing along support now. We've come down and tested these support lines a couple of times. It's possible that if Ethereum does find support here, that we do start to make ground and perhaps pull the Bitcoin price back up. I think once Bitcoin gets above this dotted line here, so I mean, really, Bitcoin needs to get above this broadening wedge to be to be back into, being sort of more confident with what's going to happen here. I mean, we've got that's marked up there at 42,500. I mean, for me personally, I think we need to get back above there before we, start to really look at this as any kind of turnaround. I mean, we are starting to get bottoming pattern here, but I don't think we're going to make it up this far yet. I think we're going to come up to this, retest, come back down, get this, the capitulation, stab down to the bottom, mid 30s, then turn around. I think is what's going to happen. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And one of the subscribers actually asked me to look at Ethereum Bitcoin pairing, which I do actually. I've been looking at that for a long time myself anyway. So I've got no problems with adding this into the content. But I've been watching this for a long time now. If we go back to, if I show you this on a wider scale to give you an idea of how long I've been watching this for, you can see all the way back to I've been watching this channel all the way back to from sort of September 2019. We started to see that this channel was forming. We've broken out above the channel, and now we've found support again a number of times. We did get into a little bit of a worrying situation down the bottom there, where we thought maybe it was all over, and that the market was going to, bear market was coming, and everything was going to get a lot worse than it has been so far. But no, we found the support again. We've bounced, we've come up, retested the support and come up again. And obviously, I think what's going to happen is we're going to come back down and retest yet again, and then we're going to get this type of sensation where you've got lows, higher lows. If I just show you that, so we're going to get a situation where we've got lows here, and then higher lows here, and then off to the races, as it were. And I do think that on this next attempt, when we get up to the top here, I think that we're going to break out, and we're going to be, possibly into the summer alt season. We'll see, into sort of June, July time, is that we'll see this breakout from here. And the Ethereum Bitcoin, my projection for that is 0.12, which is going to be around about sort of 12% of the Bitcoin price, which will be interesting. But I'm not so sure that Bitcoin's going to really make new highs or anything like that. But I think that because of the amount of volume which is going to come into the altcoins for this summer period, it will push the Ethereum Bitcoin price, if you like, back up into certainly breaking above this range here, and above the sort of 10% mark. I think is what's going to happen. We'll see, like Ethereum, which would make sense if Bitcoin gets to say 54, 55. And the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio breaks the 10%, it would mean an Ethereum price of around 5,500, which I don't think it is. It is sort of I think that's quite possible, particularly when you've got Ethereum 2 coming out and things. I think the Ethereum 2 merge, I think, is the 22nd of June. So that would make sense again, with the summer alt season doing well off the back of that news and the hype that's going to be around that, and obviously Ethereum price starting to skyrocket, along with the altcoins doing really well. Bitcoin maybe not doing anything astronomical, but just kind of sideways action between perhaps 54, 58 maybe for a few months through the summer, whilst the altcoins and Ethereum start to really take off and really shine. But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen anyway, guys. But we're a long way off from that, and I'll try and keep you posted each day. Thanks ever so much for listening, guys. All the best now. Take care. Always remember, take profits and buy something real. And see you again tomorrow. Take care.